Yeah, Rob here, and I'm going to show you a little bit more of the progress I've been making on AgnosticUI, the rewrite, and thought I'd crack open the editor and show you how I'm doing this. It's a V2 complete overhaul, and at one point I was doing this outside of the repo, and I realized I have to get this into a topic branch at least. So I have a topic branch where I'm doing all this work, and I just carved out a little V2 directory here. Lots of stuff is in flux. It's very much a work in progress. But I do have this lib directory where the actual components live. Make this a little wider. And I think I'm almost up to parity with V1. I might have like omitted a couple components that didn't seem to make sense to me anymore and added a few new ones, but I'm making good progress. And today I was working on the input component. So I've actually already got that open over here. I like to kind of split my screen like this a lot of the times. So sorry if it's a little hard to see, but basically it's a rewrite in lit. Oops, sorry about that. It's a rewrite in lit. So that's basically a framework around web components. And let's see. I think rather than diving too deep into the code, let me see if, is there anything interesting? No, it's pretty standard lit stuff. Let's see. Let's look at the actual, let's actually look at how I build all this. I have 5 shells here across the board, and this is for my lib directory. I run npm run lint, I run a type check, I run the tests, I run the build, and then once I've built it, everything's verified, I run npm pack, which creates a tarball of the library, and then I use that to install it locally from another directory as if I was doing npm install. And that's actually the closest approximation of running npm install on a published library, because I believe they actually tarball the libraries. I read that somewhere, but I've used npm link and yarn link and that kind of stuff, and I always end up running into reliability issues, especially when I'm trying to install from multiple places. So this works well. So that's what I do. And then I end up with a tarball file, and then I point to it. You can see over here on one of them, it says npm I, and then I have the path to the tarball. I is just for install. And if that succeeds, I run the storybook. And I don't know why it's saying storybook twice. Let's see. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. So I've already got this React one running, and I also have a VPress documentation site, just like I did for V1. And so I can show you those things right now. So this is my React AgnosticUI storybook, and I got to upgrade to 10 apparently. Definitely want to do that soon. So I just basically every variant and version of this, I create a story. And the thing I was working on today were these things. I'm calling them add-ons. I've heard them called ornaments, but basically an icon add-on. And so you can see I've still got some bugs to fix. So here, it looks like I'm doing what I wanted to do on the underlined ones on a normal one. So I've got some bugs I'm still working out on this. Yeah, that's not quite right. But these are looking good. And I could have sworn these were working before, but I guess not. So this is supposed to be rounded over here, and it's supposed to be a full capsule. And then here's an underlined one, kind of looks correct. So that's where I'm at. I'm literally working on that today. And then I had add-ons on text area. No dice. I'm going to cancel that. Yeah, so you can see this is me very much midway, and a lot of times it's in this state where I'm midway. So that's where I'm at with this. I wonder, I don't know if I could fix that. I never seem to do well with this live coding thing. Let me see if I reload. Oh, I think I was doing stuff in the browser. So this is the bug actually, is over here. So when I have an underlined guy, it's supposed to be removing the border radius, and it's supposed to be removing the borders, but it's not. Maybe I have that done on my other machine. I'm also coding on 2 machines, so that could be the problem here. I could have sworn I'd done that. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm going to go over to my other machine and see if I actually even pushed up those changes, because I feel like I had this fixed, but I might not have pushed those changes from my other machine and pulled it down. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm ahead of origin by 4 commits. So let's see if I pull this down, pull origin rebase, and I have changes. Let's reset head hard. Let's try to pull that down. Okay, now this might actually work. So let's try to rebuild it. So npm run lint, run type checks, make sure the types are good, run all the tests, build the entire library, and then npm pack it into a tarball. And then we're going to stop all these guys, which are our storybooks, and then get them ready to fire off. And we're going to stop the vpress site. I won't try to run all the storybooks. Maybe I'll just get the React one and the vpress one going for now, so you don't have to wait. But I do run all of these. It's a bit of madness, I guess. And it takes a minute to build this stuff because I do use design tokens, and we use style dictionary, take the tokens, spit out CSS custom properties, and those got to get copied over. Okay, there, finished building. And then I also install that npm packed version of the build. So now we're running the React Storybook and the vpress site, and both of them have installed that tarball that I was talking about earlier. So there it is. That's what it was supposed to look like. So I actually did finish this work. I was like, why? I thought I'd done that work already. Oh no. Why did I close that? Now I got to figure out how to get that thing back. There it is. My ergonomics with Storybook, still not great. So here we have these add-ons, and you've seen it here first. It's basically working. And you can see I'm pretty obnoxious with the focus ring. I just don't want to mess with the accessibility. So I err on the side of just making that pretty in your face, pretty bold. And so that's where I'm at. Let's see, I could show you a little bit of this code. Probably the most interesting part would be the web component. So I'll do that now. So I have the whole interface here. And this is good for typing, for TypeScript. And then here I'm really enjoying working with lit element, or lit. Basically saves me from having to do a lot of low-level web component typing. But most of it actually just looks like web components. And then we have a bunch of styles here. So this is a web component. So it's sort of like you think of it as its own little private island or something. And what can I tell you about this stuff? Well, when you're styling the CSS, the actual component is this :host, and then these square brackets represent a property. So when I'm saying when the consumer passes in the size of small, then I go down over to the input or the text area and of course adjust the padding and the font size. And then we have t-shirt sizes for that. If it's capsule or if it's rounded or underlined, we're just basically letting the props kind of derive the variance of the input. So we'll skip past that and let's see. Well, this is kind of interesting. I don't want to get too low level, but well, okay, here I go. So you have this @property decorator, which you can use from lit, and basically that's going to allow me to take in this prop and basically declare its type, whether there's two-way reflection. I don't think that's probably what it's called, whether it's reflecting its, bound, whether the properties are bound or not. It's kind of eluding me the proper way to say that in lit speak, but that's basically what's happening there. And then we have these two guys, which are kind of interesting. So we used to have, when you had an add-on in V1, you'd have one prop would be maybe your SVG, your actual left add-on or right add-on. And then we needed to have another prop to indicate whether you had a left or right add-on. And that was kind of crude. And so I had to jump through a few hoops to figure out how to do that. Basically how to detect if the slot is existing or not. And so we have this has slot content, and basically this can get called with a slot to see if it was provided or not. So that is, yeah, so you can see that's where we're determining if we should set this Boolean true, because there's certain markup structure where the slot needs a parent if it's going to be there. So there's some kind of conditional rendering logic based on that. It turns out to be a little tricky, as you can see, to detect that. But it seems to be working good. And let's see. So this is the area where we're actually setting up the markup. If you're a React developer, I guess this would be sort of akin to JSX. Yeah, I'm not going to go too deep into that. And this actually should not be here. This should be in the barrel component. So I think I found a duplicate definition. In fact, I'm just going to delete that. And the reason why is you're supposed to be getting that from over here. So all these components have a barrel component, which is basically just where the component is imported and then made available. Its properties are made available. It's registered with custom elements. That's a web components thing. And then TypeScript, it's declared as a TypeScript global. So all that's set up over here. So there you have it. I think that's all. Well, I guess I could show you this site. If I have it running, yeah, I do. So just show you real quick a progress. I'm trying to zip through here fairly quickly. So I don't think we had these types of accordions before. I think these are a little bit nicer. I do need to get in here and kind of put some polish on the site. I'm in that phase where I'm just trying to kick the ball in the net and make sure this stuff is working properly. Well, one interesting thing is we apply CSS parts to these things. So if you're directly trying to style this thing, you can use this CSS parts because it's in the shadow DOM. this gives you a possible hook to actually get in there and customize it. So that's kind of cool. And I did that with all the components. They all have these CSS parts available. Let's see, we've got our buttons. Buttons are looking good. Collapsible is new. I guess vPress does a full reload. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn more about how that's all working. What's something else fun? Keyboard is new. These are fun. So yeah, it's kind of visually pleasing. What else is interesting? Most of it's parity with V1. My goal is to put a little bit more polish on it, make it a little bit better, and then have more coverage. So I want to do another maybe 10 components from this. I think I've got about the same number, maybe a little more than I had before. Yeah, but that's where I'm at, and I'll keep you updated as this progresses. And when I think of things that are a little more specific, I'll try to do tutorials and stuff, and would love to hear what you want to learn about. Yeah, I guess that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.